Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, Book 3, Discourse 5. Umayanjanati Mirandasya Anjananjana Sarakaya Chaksu. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhushka Sakha Tvameva Vidyam Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mam Deva Deva. Discourse 5. The sage Maitreya describes the process of creation in reply to Vidura's question. One. Sri Shuka continued. Vidura, the foremost of the Kurus, whose heart was purified by devotion to the imperishable Lord Sri Krishna, approached the sage Maitreya of phantomless wisdom, who was staying at Haridwar, the gateway of the celestial river Ganga, so called because the river descends into the plains at this point. And gratified by his good disposition and other virtues, asked him the following question. Vidura said, people perform actions for the sake of happiness, but they neither attain happiness nor succeed in ending their sorrow thereby. On the other hand, they undergo suffering again and again as a result of those acts. Therefore, O worshipful sage, be pleased to tell me what is advisable under the circumstances. 3. The blessed devotee of Lord Janardhan, Sri Krishna, move about in this world just in order to shower their grace on men who have through ill luck turned their face away from Sri Krishna and are given to unrighteousness and are therefore extremely miserable. 4. Be pleased to point out to me, O foremost saint, that blessed path by following which people succeed in propitiating the Lord, who in his turn settles in their heart, purified by devotion, and bestows on them the most ancient wisdom, which brings with it the realization of truth. 5, 6. Kindly also tell me what kind of deeds are performed by the Lord, who is the ruler of all the three worlds and absolutely independent. When he descends into the world of matter, how, though actionless, he brought forth this universe at the dawn of creation. How, having established it on a firm footing, he provides a mean of subsistence for all creating beings, and how again, having withdrawn it into the cavity of his heart and refraining from all activities, he retires into communion with his Yogamaya. And finally, how, having created this universe over again and entered it as the inner controller, the Lord of all masters of yoga, thought one, appears in diverse forms. 7. Also recount to me the exploits that he performs as a mere sport for the well-being of the Brahmanas, the cows and the gods in the course of his various avatars or descends into the world of matter. My mind does not feel sad even though I go on hearing the nectar-like stories of Sri Krishna, the crest jewel of those enjoying fair renown. 8-9. Pray further tell me, O chief of the Brahmanas, with what principle that suzerain Lord of all the worlds create the different worlds in their guardian deities and their guardian deities, as well as the dark region lying beyond the mountain, called Loka Loka. Loka Loka, a belt or circle of mountains surrounding the outmost of the seven seas and dividing the visible world from the region of darkness. As the sun is within this wall of mountains, they are light on one side and dark on the other. Is this speaking about the shape of the earth? Having a topic I have been touching for a few times in the last month on videos, speaking about what is the real shape of planet Earth in regarding to the Vedas or the Puranam, such as SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. And here is saying something interesting. Lying beyond the mountain called Loka Loka. O chief of the Brahmanas, with what principles that suzerain Lord of all the worlds create the different worlds and their guardian deities, as well as the dark regions, wherein appear all classes of being, entrusts with different duties, and how the self-existence Lord Narayan, the maker of the universe, endowed all created beings with a distinctive disposition, activity, form and name. So this mountain called Loka Loka is described like this: a belt of circle of mountains surrounding the outermost of the seven seas and dividing the visible world from the region of darkness. As the sun is within this wall of mountains, they are light on one side and dark on the other side. What does it mean? That the sun is inside this wall of mountains. So if this wall of mountains is over the mandala kriti, the mandala, and the sun is inside, so rotating inside these mountains, then the sun cannot be that far from the mandala kriti or the mandala, the planet, right? 10. I have often heard, O worshipful sage, from the lips of the sage Vyasa about the duties of the higher twice born, as well as the lower classes of men, but I am now fit up with all other dharmas, conducive as they are to trivial joys, and find my soul delight in the stream of nectar that flows from the stories of Sri Krishna. 11. As a matter of fact, who can be sit with the stories of Sri Krishna, whose feet are the abode of all sanctity, which are sung with praise by seers, like Narada, in the assemblies of holy men like you? For entering the cavity of a man's ear through his stories, the Lord cuts asunder the bones of attachment to this home, which throws one into the whirlpool of metempsychosis. 12. It was this the intention of recounting the Lord's virtue that your friend, sage Krishna Dvaipayan Vedavyas, composed the Bhāgavata. For even there, while apparently dwelling on the pleasures of sense, the mind of human beings is ultimately drawn toward the stories of Sri Hari. Jai Ho. 13. The attraction thus generated for the stories of Sri Hari, when it grows, create aversion in the mind of a devout man for other things. Nay, it speedily puts an end to all sorrows of the man who has tasted the joy flowing from the constant remembrance of Sri Hari's feet. 14. I deplore those ignorant men who have a dislike for the stories of Sri Hari due to their sins and therefore deserve to be pitied even by the pitiable. The deity presiding over time cuts short every moment their allowed span of life, engaged as they are all the time in idle talk, idle activities and idle thoughts. In this shloka, men who have a dislike for the stories of Sri Hari due to their sins. This is speaking about the aparadas. There are different aparadas that are leading us for a no taste on the Hari stories. When somebody has not taste to hear about Krishna, it's because of a mountain of apparatus. So that is the most kind of sad human being that can exist, the ones who does not want to hear about Krishna, their stories or associates. This is confirmed as we have the apparats on Harinam, holy name, apparats on Vaishnav, then the apparats are leading someone to not feel any attraction for the Krishna stories. 15. Therefore, O Maitreya, son of Kusharu, friend of the afflicted, even as a bee gather honey from the flowers, so be pleased to extract the essence of all stories in the shape of the stories of Sri Hari, the bestower of blessedness and the abode of sacred renown, and relate the same to me for my good. Also kindly recount to me the superhuman feats performed by the Lord when he descended into the world of matter, assuming his energy known by the name of Maya for the sake of creation, preservation, and dissolution of the universe. As we see in the verse 16, and please check my post on the post on the channel, I am sharing material related to Mahadev Shiva, because there is a extremely misunderstanding, misinformation about how Vaishnavas and Gaudiya Vaishnavas should take the name of Shiva and who Shiva is for us. Many following misinformation has no appreciation, no devotion, no respect for Mahadev Shiva, thinking that he is a demigod, so it's like a half god or not a god at all. And in every single Shastra, it reads that Sri Hari is the one who create, preserve, and destroy the universe. What does it mean? Who is the creator? Brahma. Who is the destroyer? Shiva. And the who preserve the universe is Vishnu, right? Narayan. So, therefore, we understand that Sri Hari is these three entities at the same time. The Supreme is Vishnu, For Shaivists, the supreme is Shiva, does not matter. Sri Hari Hara is exactly the same and no different. One of the apparats to the Harinam is to consider the name of Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva different and separate. This is apparat. There are three different points of view and dimensions to say different universe of understanding, but we cannot consider different each other. So this is apparat. And here the shloka reads, he descended into the world of matter, assuming his energy known by the name of Maya for the sake of creation, preservation, and dissolution of the universe. What does it mean? It's the same entity. Everything is Krishna. 17. Sri Shuka continued. Questioned thus by Vidura for the supreme good of men, the worshipful sage Maitreya, the son of Kusharu, addressed him as follows, showing great honor to him. Maitreya said, O pious Vidura, you have put mankind under a deep obligation by asking me this excellent question. Your mind is already fixed on the Lord, who is beyond sense perception, and your fame will thus be spread far and wide in this world. 19. Vidura, it is not to be wondered at that you should have thus captivated Srihari, the Lord of the universe, by your exclusive devotion, begotten as you are by no less a personage than the sage Badarajan Vedavyas. 20. You are not other than the worshipful Yama, the punisher of all creatures, descended as a result of the imprecation pronounced by the sage Mandaya from the loins of the sage Vyasa, through the maidservant and concubine of the latter, uterine brother, who was also born of Satyavati. 21. Moreover, you are even beloved of the Lord as well as of his devotees. That is why, while departing from this world, the Lord commanded me to teach you wisdom. 22. I therefore now proceed to recount in due order the Lord's pastimes, unfolded by his Yoga Maya, wonderful divine potency, for the creation, preservation, and destruction of the universe. Before creation, this universe exists in no other form than the Lord, who is the very self and the ruler of all the jivas, individual souls. The Spirit did not appear then in the form of many, of subject and object, for it was his will that he should remain alone. 24. He cast his eyes all around, but failed to perceive any object, for he shone all alone at that time. He felt as though he were non-existent, for all his powers lay dormant, although his consciousness was wide awake. 25. It is this energy of the all-perceiving Lord in the form of search for an object that is called Maya, which is of the nature of both cause and effect, karma. It was with the help of this Maya, O blessed Vidura, that the Almighty Lord created this universe. It was with the help of this Maya that the Almighty created this universe. When the equilibrium of the three gunas constituting this Maya was disturbed by force of time, the transcendent Lord, who is spiritual in essence, placed therein as Purusha, who is his own fragment, his seed in the form of Siddha Vasa, the Jiva. 27. From this unmanifest Maya or Prakriti, impelled by time, was evolved the Mahatattva, the principle of cosmic intelligence, which, as the dispeller of darkness in the form of ignorance, is of the nature of understanding and is capable of manifesting the universe existing in itself in a subtle form. 28. Subject to the Chidavasa, Jiva, the three gunas constituting Maya and time. This Mahat, when it fell within the range of the Lord's vision, transformed itself with the intention of creating this universe. 29. From the Mahat Tattva, as it underwent transformation, was evolved the principle of Aham, the ego, which, being of the nature of Adhibhuta, Adhyatma, and Adhidaiva, is the cause of the five gross elements, the Indriyas, the five senses of perception and the five organs of action, and the mind. 30. Ahankara, the ego, is of three kinds: Vaikarika, Sattvika, Tajasa, Rajasika, and Tamasika. From the Sattvika ego, as it underwent transformation, sprang up the mind, as well as the deity presiding over the senses, who are all of the Sattvika type, revealing as they do the objects of sense. When the translation reads deity, the word is Deva. Actually, Deva means it should be translated as deity, divinity, not as God, demigod. Divinity. Mahadeva, the biggest divinity, the biggest deity. 31. The senses of perception as well as the organs of action are evolutes of the Rajasika ego alone, whereas from the Tamasika ego was evolved the source of the other subtle elements, viz. Sounds, and this latter, again, is the cause of ether, which by virtue of its all-pervasiveness serves as an illustration of the spirit. 32. When ether came within the range of the Lord's vision along with time, Maya and the Jiva, they combined to produce the sensation of touch, and this latter, as it underwent transformation, evolved the air. The most powerful air, even as it underwent transformation, combined with ether to produce the sensation of color, and from color was evolved fire, the illuminator of the world. 34. Fire, when it came within the range of the Lord's vision and underwent transformation, combined with air as well as with time, Maya, and the Jiva to produce water, which is an evolute of taste. 35. Water, when it came within the sight of the all-perceiving Brahma and underwent transformation, combined with fire as well as time, Maya, and the Jiva to evolve the earth, which has odor for its special characteristics. 36. Of the elements beginning with ether, air, fire, water, and earth, 5 elements. O blessed Vidura, the letter is in the later. In evolution, the elements, the larger number of qualities, it should be understood to possess, for every effect naturally inherits the characteristics of its cause along with its own characteristics. 37. The deities presiding over the Mahatattva and other categories, sharing as they do the characteristics of time, Maya, and the Jiva, transformation, destruction, and consciousness, are rays of Lord Vishnu himself. But when they were unable to do their work of creating the universe because of their heterogeneity and lack of coordination, they prayed to the Almighty Lord with joined palms. The divinities said, "We bow, O Lord, to your lotus feet, that relieve the agony of the suppliant, even as an umbrella affords relief from the heat of the sun, and by resorting to whose souls striving men easily drive away the endless whoosh of earthly existence." 39. Because living beings in this world, O Creator and Lord of the universe, never enjoy peace of mind, stricken as they are by the threefold agony, therefore, O Lord, do we resort to the shade of your feet, which is the abode of wisdom. We have taken shelter in your feet, which are the abode of sanctity, which the seers search for in seclusion, for the help of Vedic mantras that are like birds having their nest in the lotus of your mouth, and which are the source of the Ganga, the foremost of all the rivers, whose water possess the virtue of wiping out one's sins. 41. We resort to the footstool bearing your lotus feet, by contemplating on which in their heart that is being purified through reverence and devotion in the shape of hearing and chanting the divine names and glory, etc. Your votaries succeed in controlling their mind with the help of wisdom, strengthened by dispassion. Purified through reverence and devotion in the shape of hearing and chanting the divine names and glory is what we are doing right now, to hear and to speak about Hari. So just by hearing, just by listening, we will be purified of all sins. 42. Lord, you have descended into the world of matter for creating, preserving, and destroying the universe. We all take refuge in your lotus feet, which, when meditating upon, vouchsafe fearlessness to the worshipper. 43. We resort, O Lord, to your lotus feet, which are far removed from, inaccessible to, such men as have deep root through false identification with the frail body, and habitation as well as with persons and things connected with them, looking upon them either as their very self and their own even thought you dwell in their own heart as the inner controller. They whose inner mind is led astray by their senses, that are ever moving among the unworthy object of the world, O suzerain Lord of wide renown, are therefore surely unable to see those devotees who enjoy the privilege of beholding the elegance of your graceful footsteps. 45. They, on the other hand, O Lord, whose heart had been purified through devotion, intensified by drinking the nectar of your stories, duly attain that spiritual insight whose essence lies in this passion, and easily ascend to your eternal abode, Vaikuntha. 46. Even so, other wise men who have conquered your most powerful Prakriti Maya by force of yoga, consisting in concentration of mind on the self, undoubtedly enter you, the Supreme Spirit, though their hardship is great, whereas there is no hardship in adoring you. Jai Pranams Gaurang Gauri, Jai Gaura, Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaura. "47. O Primal Lord, we who are even yours have been created by you one after another with the help of the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, that constitute our very nature, with the intention of evolving the universe. Yet, possessed as we are of the diversified nature, we are all disjoined, independent of one another, and hence incapable of taking concerted action. That is why we are unable to evolve and present to you the universe, which will serve as a means of carrying on your future pastimes." 48. Therefore, O unborn Lord, devise some means whereby we may be enabled to create the universe and offer our tribute to you in its entirety at the allotted time, and whereby we may also derive our sustenance, and all the beings that came hereafter may be securely placed and get their food without any let or hindrance, offering their tribute to you as well as to us. 49. You, the immutable ancient person alone, are the prime cause of us, gods, as well as of the other evolutes. It was you again, O unborn Lord, who of yore placed the seed in the form of the conscious Jiva in the womb of your energy, Maya, who is the source of the three gunas, as well as of all activity. And 50. O Supreme Spirit, what shall we, the deities presiding over the Mahat Tattva, and others do for you, since that is the purpose for which we are born? O Lord, we depend on your grace alone. Therefore, for success in the work of creation, pray, confer on us your divine vision, insight, along with your creative energy. Thus ends the fifth discourse in Book 3 of the great and glorious Bhagavata Puran, otherwise known as the Paramahamsa Samhita. SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM ki Jai, Jai Mahavira Ra Raman, Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. By tomorrow at the same time, we will be reading live Discourse 6, Appearance of the Cosmic Body, and we will have better insights of how the real shape of universe is. This is very interesting to discuss, to read, to hear, and to understand, because something that has been told to us through the school and science is just not correct. So let's check what Bhagavatam, the real knowledge, has to say for us. See you tomorrow. Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam.